All right, all right, all right. What's going, y'all? Y'all, this is your boy Bill Mahari here with another edition of MehariNation Sports Radio. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to the entire Lions Den boxing community and Lions Den basketball community. Got a great show for you today, though, man. Got a lot of stuff to talk about here today on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Just sitting back on my couch and watching the Minnesota Golden Gophers take on the Michigan Wolverines today, man. So we're gonna get down to it, though. I'm not gonna be live on for too long, so let's get down to it. So the big news coming out of this week, though, man, is Deontay Wilder was in talks with DAZN, and he was in negotiations to possibly fight having $100 million deal. Now, a couple of days ago, we were reported by the LDBC, specifically from Mr. 78 Sports TV. Shout out to him that Deontay Wilder, which isn't this is a rumor per se, that he declined the offer of $100 million deal because it entailed it was not included a fight with Anthony Joshua. Now, here's my feedback to this. I've been reading a lot of the comments that stating that, Wilder passed up $100 million deals, he's dunking Joshua. Well, first of all, it may be a good deal on paper, but if you really think about it, the thing is this: $100 million deal sounds nice, but when you also add in the back end money, percentages, and how much you're paying back to the networks, it's not really that good of a deal if you really think about it. So when we really look at this, though, Deontay Wilder is playing his options. Now, is the free agent. He's being advised by Al Heyman and being advised by Shelley Finkel. Now, we have yet to see what Showtime is going to provide because, again, he's a loyal man to Showtime. He's been there when his career started. But I'm interested to see what will Showtime do to counter the $100 million deal. Are they going to put a bigger investment deal for him, or are they going to stand pat? And the same with Fox. I think Fox right now is doing a great job of promoting and selling their ability on boxing. Because the fact of the matter is this: Fox right now is really making moves and really pushing out their boxing brand with the PBC. I mean, tonight we got Spence and Garcia. And they done a tremendous job promoting that. So you don't think for a second that Deontay Wilder is noticing that and thinking, if I get my chance to fight here on Fox, you know, it's just that it's gonna be a possible opportunity to get some good exposure yourself. What's going on, Lala D? How you doing, girl? Yeah, you're the only person so far. You're the only person so far. I'm just sitting back and watching the Gophers right now. Now down by 11 points against the Michigan Wolverines, which I kind of expected was going to happen. But yeah, man, I mean, Wilder is in a good position to decide what he wants to do with his career. If he wants to go to the Zone, or if he wants to go to Fox or Showtime or even ESPN. I don't think he'll go to ESPN because he does. I don't think though he'll want to have his career controlled by Bob Arum. And here's the thing, though: the only reason why ESPN took a chance on Tyson Fury was off of the anticipation of a possible rematch. They were not sold in the beginning until the fights came out and how successful it was. So you don't think for a second that Bob Arum saw this and also the network saw this and think, hey, we may want to get some of this money. The problem is that Deontay Wilder may not want to commit himself to going to the Zone. I'm sorry, the Zone and both ESPN itself. So we'll see what he decides to do by next week when he has the press conference with Dominic Brazil, what network he'll decide and what he wants to do. So y'all stay tuned to that, and we'll see how that goes. What's up, 88 Sports Talk? How you doing, my man? Yeah, we got just the only person so far. I'm not gonna do too much of a long live stream today because everybody is so focused on the Spence and Garcia fight, and I'm gonna break that down very shortly though. And right now, I'm watching my Gophers getting creamed right now by Michigan, now down by 13 with 5:02 to go in the first half, which I kind of expected was gonna happen. Minnesota doesn't have enough on the offensive end. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. The other news that also came out this week as well is that Conor McGregor once again got himself in trouble with the law. He got in trouble when somebody tried to took a picture of him, and then he took the phone and smashed it as well. So I'll tell you this though, man. What's going on, Focus Ball Boxing MMA? How you doing, my man? Yeah, man. Conor McGregor, bro, he's getting away with a lot of stuff, man. First, the Charlie incident back in Brooklyn, and then obviously the brawl that took place after Magomedov's fight. You know what I mean. And then also the stuff with the Diaz brothers though, throwing bottles in anticipation of their second fight. You know what I mean? It's just as. But the one thing is this: the UFC at this point is only facing their entire brand on Conor McGregor because they want to sell a white Irish fighter to their brand when unfortunately a lot of the top fighters are African American. And the truth of the matter is, I don't know how long UFC is going to tolerate this. What if this guy did a huge significant crime that it cannot be defended? It's going to cost the UFC a lot of money. You know what I mean? Right now, the UFC, in my view, is in a bad spot because they are trying so hard to push out their brand through Conor McGregor, and I just don't see him as a good draw anymore. Just don't. You know what I mean? What's going on, Hyphy? How you doing, my brother? Just sitting back on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, man. You know what I mean? The other thing I wanted to also talk about is North Carolina versus Duke. I watched the second half of the game, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Zion Williamson, bro. Woo! I whatever happens to his knee, it's good and healthy now. And I also bring out the Kyrie's too as well. So I think he's taking wearing different shoes now. But anyway, I mean Zion Williamson, bro, is a once in a lifetime athlete. I mean, he could post, he could pass. He's smooth around the basket. He has great feet. He can jump. He can explode. I've never seen a guy that could do all that since Larry Johnson back in the day. And Larry Johnson was no slouch. He was a legit beast. You know what I mean? I'm telling you this, though, man. The Duke Blue Devils right now are going to come into this tournament probably as the heavy favorites, considering the huge talent they have on their team. But they can't be shaky with the ball, Hey, you a fool, man. Grabbing the bottles before the light. Yeah, man. That's a good analogy as 88 Sports Talk. He does remind me a lot of Dominique Wilkins. But I think Dominique was a better shooter than Zion is at this current point in time. But boy, are they athletic as hell, though, bro. Zion is just he's freakishly athletic. I've never seen a guy who was 6'7", 6'8", weighing 285 with his ability to have good footwork, and sprinting on the fast break. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just an unbelievable talent. The African sci-fi scholars, salute, homie. Salam, my brother. Mr. KO, how you doing, my man? Thank you for coming, guys. We got some good people in the chat right now, my man. Salute to the whole chat. Yeah, man. Salute to the entire LDBC, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Let's try to get them likes up, bro. Yeah, man. Duke, I would have to say Duke, to me, is the favorites coming into the tournament. But don't sleep on Houston. Don't sleep on the other teams, though, as well. You know what I mean? Now, Rogers, how you doing, my man? Welcome to the channel, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, I'm telling you, I hope that when the Final Four does come to Minneapolis, that we get a Duke and North Carolina matchup. I'm definitely going to go to that. In fact, I'm actually planning on going to the Final Four in Minneapolis. I'm going to try to get some VIP experience tickets so I can at least try to get some interviews with some legends and some legendary coaches down there. So I can try to get you guys some good content. And then I'm going to show you guys around, U.S. Bank Stadium and the whole city of Minneapolis, bro. It gets beautiful down there, especially when it comes to major sporting events, especially that too, my man. I remember the Super Bowl. It was a great time there. I mean, everybody from all four corners of the globe were coming around to Minneapolis, man. I mean, we really know how to show out, bro. So I'm gonna make sure y'all get a close-up access to everything I can get for you guys. so that way you can all feel it. Y'all can all see it as well. But let me start talking about the Spence and Garcia fight that's going to happen tonight. I've been hearing and watching a lot of the breakdowns of my LDBC brothers, man. You know what I mean? Here's my thing to this, and here's my breakdown of this fight. Spence is one of the best body punchers in the business. I mean, the guy is physically strong. He's a well-built welterweight. You know what I mean? And just watching Jordan Poole's game winner last year against Houston in the tournament a year ago. But yeah, man, you know what? Let me give you a wrench, Mr. African Sci-Fi Scholar. Here, let me make sure it gets you a wrench. There you go, my brother. Now you wrenched up. Let me get you a wrench, Mr. KO. Yep. There you go, KO. You wrenched up, my brother. Yeah, man. Not Roach. I said tonight's gonna be a murder case. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I've been thinking in my head how this fight will turn out for Mikey Garcia and how he could possibly beat him. But here's the thing. He has 39 fights on his record. You know what I mean? No problem, KO. Always want to show you love, my man, to my supporters, man. J1 Pro, welcome aboard, my man. Salute, man. There's just no way I can see Mikey Garcia win this fight. The only way I can see him even having a chance, and that's a slim chance, if he takes a chance in fighting off the back foot. But the problem with that is that Spence is excellent at fighting off the front foot and tagging you to the body and just teeing you off, man. I mean, I just don't see it. What BATB always says in this channel, styles make fights. This fight, I just don't see it working very well for Mikey Garcia. He's going to have to really pull something out of his hat to pull off a major upset. And the one thing I will say tonight, too, is this. We're going to see the revelation of a pay-per-view star in Earl Spence Jr. Not Roach says the only way Mikey wins is if Spence breaks both hands. Yeah. And also if he doesn't, and also if Mikey Garcia says that, I'm not feeling too good, I may want to skip the fight. It's funny, man. But yeah, bro, it's a bad matchup to me because Earl Spence is excellent at breaking you down to the body. He knows how to, cut off the ring and just bull you around. I'll tell you this though, and keep this in mind, y'all guys. If Earl Spence doesn't get hurt in the early rounds, and if he smiles it off, fight's over. I guarantee you, fight's over. Earl Spence doesn't get hurt much. The only time I ever see him maybe somewhat hurt was probably in the Kell Brook fight. But then once Earl Spence Jr. got warmed up and figured out what he had to do to win, the fight was over. I see it maybe going the same way. I think Mikey's going to try to get physical because he thinks somewhat that Mexican style is familiar to all the fighters he faced against. But let's keep this in mind. Despite the fact that he beat Adrian Broner, he didn't look good in the second half of the fight. Adrian Broner was teeing him off with some good right hands, but he just didn't do it enough. I don't expect it to be the case against Earl Spence Jr. And, man, Minnesota's getting killed right now. It's 36-17. This is kind of what I thought was going to happen. Yeah, the Gophers right now, they don't have enough offensive firepower, and they haven't had a field goal in the last 6 minutes in the first half. Murphy finally get on the board. About time. But anyway, though, yeah, man, that's the only way I can see it. And I'll tell you what, though, man, Dallas has done a great job of promoting this fight. And the thing is this, though, man, that they've done a great job promoting this fight. Everybody's involved and engaged with it, and it's gonna be a special night down in Dallas. Shout out to my brothers, Stay Ready Boxing, World Breaker, Black Fight Fan TV, 503 Line. Shout out to all my LDBC brothers, man. Y'all been doing a great job breaking down the fights and breaking down all the analytics of it. But I am in agreement to all of y'all. I just don't see how Mikey can really hurt Earl Spence Jr. And the fact that it takes a little guy from 2 weight classes to come up and basically fight against the most dangerous fighter in the welterweight division. I mean, it's a huge slap to the face to Porter, to Thurman, and to Danny Garcia. Because y'all could have had this opportunity to make this kind of huge money in this huge stadium in Dallas, but unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. So I'll say this though. I'll ask people in the chat this question: what round do you see? Do you expect a decision or a knockout, and in what round? I'll leave that up to you guys. As we wait around, the thing I always mind is that this fight is going to be a huge link point. Hey, now Rajay says 6 down, throwing the towel. I can see that to be possible, though. I actually think that it's going to end in a stoppage. I don't think that I don't know if Earl Spence is going to physically knock him out cold, because it's gonna take a lot to do it. Okay, KO says knock round in 7. KO Lala D says KO as early as the 3rd round. Corner stop us by 7th or 8th. You know what, Lala D? I kind of see it that way too. I just don't. I just think that once Earl Spence, starts hitting him to the body and starts dogging him, walking him down, the fight's over. I just don't see it how he'll be able to survive that body onslaught. And a lot of the stars are going to be there, man. And Sean Porter's going to be there in the fight, though, man. Now, I don't know what will happen afterwards, because I'm hoping that if after this fight's over, when Earl Spence Jr. wins, that I think that I'm hoping that they would make the fight with Sean Porter. But obviously, there's going to be a lot of politics and a lot of stuff that's going to get in the way of that. You know what I mean? And also, I'll say this, though. Screw Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? This man had the audacity to try to tell Earl Spence Jr. that he's the second best welterweight in the division behind him. Well, brother, you have not fought in 2 years, and you've been holding the belts hostage. I'm very disgusted at the WBA, who I don't even consider as a legit sanctioning body. I'm disgusted to the fact that they've allowed him to hold the belt for about 2 years while he was nursing injuries. And at the end of the day, though, man, this all this stuff about the sanctioned bodies needs to be figured out sooner or later. We need a one central sanctioning body that's going to control all the ducking that's going to happen. Now, Jay says, I don't think Robert's going to allow Mikey to get hurt badly. I agree. Lala D said, we want Earl to call out Bud, and please don't say I'll fight anybody. Call him out. You know what, Lala D? I hope so, but just before but before Terrence Crawford, man, he's in a bind right now because he committed that contract to Top Rank. It's gonna go down as one of the biggest blunders in boxing history, because he could have explored a lot of different opportunities to expose himself and maybe be a free agent and probably demand more. But I will say this, on the flip side, even if he does sign with the PBC, there may not be a guarantee that he'll even get the fight in the first place. You know what I mean? So I'm very anxious to see what's going to happen after the fight, because I can pretty much predict what's going to happen when the fight starts. You know what I mean? But yeah, though, man, I'll tell you what, though, these a lot of them trolls, man, get mixed up into the business side of things. You know what I mean? And well, Spence needs to play dumb and call him out anyway. Okay, Lala D, I feel you on that. Yeah, I would love for Earl Spence to call him out too, but I just don't believe that's. I just personally believe that won't happen. I'm not saying that Earl Spence Jr. is scared of him. Absolutely not. Heck no. But obvious to me, there's going to be a lot of politics and a lot of stuff that's going to get in the way of this fight happening. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's going to be a special night down in Dallas, and it's going to be a crazy night, to say the least, though, man. So let me move on to the next subject in hand here. Tomorrow is a Selection Sunday. Yep, true. That's so true, Lala D. You know what I mean? I'll tell you this, though. Tomorrow is Selection Sunday. We're going to see who's going to make it into the field of 64 teams in the NCAA tournament. Here's an announcement for all my followers today. I'm gonna order some tickets and order some VIP experience access to the Final Four in Minneapolis. And what it contains is round tables, and you can get to meet all the legends there and all the personal interviews. And I checked out that Gary Williams from Maryland is actually going to be down there in Minneapolis, which is very ironic though, because his Maryland team made it to the Final Four in 2001 in Minneapolis, and they blew a double-digit lead against Duke, who went on to win the national championship. So when that happens, I'm going to make sure to get you guys all the exclusive interviews, and I'll make sure you guys get to see around Minneapolis and let you guys see the trophy of the national championship. And I'll make sure you guys get a picture of it as well. You know, just to make sure you guys feel the good vibe that goes around in Minneapolis, especially in huge events. So that's going to happen in 4 weeks, and I'll make sure to keep you guys posted about when that happens. And then I'll get you guys live feeds of the game and the analysis of it as well. But I'll say this too, man. On the current state of boxing right now, there's way too much maneuvering, way too much ducking right now. You know, we're in an era right now where a lot of the networks and a lot of the sanctioning bodies are controlling the lot of the movement and a lot of the decision making for a lot of these boxers. Now, I will not say that there's some boxers that want to fight against the best. Obviously, Deontay Wilder has always wanted to fight against the best, but obviously the networks, the movement, the ducking by these promoters, and also by the sanctioning bodies have always been getting in the way of that. And I'm hoping sometime down the line that eventually a boxer is going to have to stand up to these sanctioning bodies and say no more. We need a centralized commission to try to stop all the ducking and all the movement that's going on in boxing, man. You know, because we want to see the best fight the best. You know, that's what we always want to do. You know what I mean? But you also have to consider the fact that these boxers are humans. You know, they care about, you know, about their money and how they're going to get out of the sport, you know, with their livelihood. And I understand that. But a lot of this ducking, a lot of this maneuvering it's getting out of control. I have never seen anything like that in boxing. You know what I mean? Now, Roja said, I wish there was only one section of body and less weight classes. I do agree. There's way too many weight classes right now. I could name you a couple of weight classes that at the top of my head. I could get rid of let's see. I would give some of the lower weight classes. I get rid of cruiserweight, and I would get rid of the super welterweight. You know what I mean? Because if you're dominant at welterweight, you should go ahead and move up and try to be the dominant best person at middleweight. And also, I want to say another thing too. We need to stop. We need to stop. You know, allowing these sanctioned bodies and a lot of these bodies to get away with a lot of the ducking right now. You know what I mean? It's getting ridiculous that, you know, we have so many, you know, sanctioning bodies, but they only care about their bottom line because they want their Pacific fighter who makes the most amount of money for their brand. I mean, look what's going on with the WBC right now in Canelo. Lala says that might work. It's horrible right now. I agree, Lala D. I totally agree. Because what's going on with the WBC is they've been entirely kissing Canelo's rear end for a long time. Y'all remember the colored Mexican belt? Yeah, man, it's just getting ridiculous. And now Roja says, I would just merge all the super junior welterweight classes and with the original and combine it with the 147 with 154. There could be problems with that, you know, because there's a lot of 147 pounders that are not, you know, are not built as a 154 or something like that. I would say, you know, I would basically eliminate 154 and then make those 154 fighters move up to 160. You know, and let the natural welterweight stay at 147. That's what I would do. And then I would also get rid of cruiserweight because the cruiserweight division has been irrelevant before Alexander Usyk and even after when Alexander Usyk moved up in weight moved up to heavyweight. You know, that's what I do. So at the end of the day, though, man, there's a lot of things that we need that in boxing that needs to be changed. We need to change. We need to get rid of a lot of these sanctioning bodies, you know, and go with one centralized commission where they're going to regulate who's going to fight the best. And you know what? And I think 78 also alluded to the fact that, If we had a tournament, a all weight a weight class tournament that's going to determine the best fighter in the division, that would work too. Which is an analogy that BFTB always talks about when it comes to the lineal championship class, which he favors. I'm more favored of the undisputed class because if you control all the belts and defeated all the champions in your division, you are the man. There's no disputing that. But if you do get rid of a lot of the unnecessary belts and make it as a lineal championship where you have to fight the best fighter in your division, the number one, number two fighter, that kind of thing, I think you would be better off. But that's gonna be tough because there's gonna be a lot of fighters who there's gonna be a lot of promoters that are gonna be against that. But remember, remember, Al Heyman was sued by Top Rank because they claimed that he was violating the Muhammad Ali Act, and that lawsuit got dismissed. So at the end of the day, though, man, there's gotta be a way to stop all this ducking and all this maneuvering, and just essentially try to break it down into one centralized commission, so that way all of us, all the fighters who will want to fight against the best, don't get shunned out. I mean, look what's going on with Guillermo Rigondeaux, a guy that has been ducked for so long, had to go up 2 weight classes to face against a bigger Vasil Lomachenko. You had, let's see, Leo Santa Cruz. Who got ducked? Carl Frampton, yes. And then also, who else got ducked? Who also ducked Guillermo Rigondeaux? Besides Leo Santa Cruz, Carl Frampton, I would like the tournament. Yeah, I would too. I would definitely too. And then also, Gary Russell. I don't think Gary Russell ducked him because Gary Russell always had band hands. Hey, somebody in the chat, could you help me refresh who were the fighters that ducked Guillermo Rigondeaux? I know Leo Santa Cruz and Carl Frampton, but Abner Maris, thank you, Lala D. Abner Maris ducked him. Yep, that's 3. And who else? Who else ducked him too? That's very tough. No, that's okay. Abner Maris. Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, though, man, all this ducking needs to stop because, yep, Quigg, Santa Cruz, Frampton, and Maris. Thank you, Hyphy. Appreciate it. Yep. Yeah, man. Think about it. 4 fighters. And Nonito Donaire ducked the rematch, too. Yep. There we go. We got 5. 5 fighters that have ducked this one man who's probably one of the best pure fighters in the 122-pound division. You know what I mean? And here's the messed up part. The WBA removed him off their rankings when he decided to fight against Vasil Lomachenko. How messed up is that? That does not make any sense at all. You know what I mean? It just made absolutely 0 sense whatsoever. That's how I feel about it, man. I'm getting tired of all this ducking, all this maneuvering that's going on right now. We just need to do a better job, of putting the pressure on these sanctioned bodies and these promoters to make the best fights, or challenge them and then try to remove a lot of the unnecessary sanctioning bodies, because all they do is basically collect checks and collect dust. That's what Floyd Mayweather just said right now, that all these boxing belts do is collect dust. Not Roger says, what is it with these UK fighters ducking Cubans? It's the style, and it's basically on the matchup, though. I've always thought that UK fighters, they're one of the most overhyped fighters that I've seen in boxing. You know what I mean? I mean, there have been some good ones, though. Obviously, with Lennox Lewis. Who else? And who else? Ricky Hatton too. That kind of thing. But the Cuban fighters, they fight, and they have a lot of amateur fighters, a lot of amateur experience, though, man. And they find that matchup to be very tough for them. But it's always unfair that a lot of the Cuban fighters, always get the short end of the stick because they always have to do more. You know what I mean? Especially with let's see, Lara. There you go. Yep, with Lara and Canelo, one of the worst decisions been made. Go back to the Paul Williams in that fight. One of the most horrific decisions I've ever seen in boxing history. in recent times. Not not counting the uh, the Cesar Chavez versus Whitaker decision. You know what I mean? A lot of these this that the UK style there, it does not mesh well there. So, and also that in their eyes they don't attract well because in their perspective of most of these fighters and promoters, they're not a huge draw, and that's just very unfair because they are really talented fighters. But it's always like they have to do more to try to get to try to get at least a decent chance to win or go for the knockout. I'm always a person that says go for the knockout. Don't ever put your hands don't ever put the hands on the judges. Put your the fighter's decision of a victory in the hands of a judges though. That kind of thing. Okay. Y'all hold up 1 second. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, there you go. I'm back. All right. Hold on 1 second. All right, fantastic. Good. All right, we're back at it again. All right, that was just a little temporary technical difficulty there. Yeah, Minnesota's down by 19 right now. It's not looking good right now. Maybe make it to the tournament. You never know. They had a good season. You know, just wish that they could just get some really good, talented players, but they're in a funk right now. But anyway, what I was saying. Oh yeah, at the end of the day, though, man, you know, a lot of this ducking needs to stop. And until that happens, though, we're gonna have a lot of trolls and a lot of people in these different comment sections that are gonna support that kind of ducking, you know, because they don't want their favorite fighter to win. But the question I have for them is this: what is the favor for you? Are you getting the money from these fighters that they're ducking against? I mean, I ask myself that's Anthony Joshua fans. I mean, the trolls there too. What is the favor for you of protecting this guy nonstop? Has he ever had a chance to talk to you personally, per se? Has he ever taken a chance to, give you contact information? And this is like, meet me up at any time, though. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous, though, man. I just find it to be hilarious, though, man. But yeah, bro, that's just how it is, though, bro. Which division has the worst case of ducking? Welterweight division, undisputedly. I say welterweight, and also I say also to middleweight, especially from Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez. ducking Jamal Charlo. And I'm gonna get and also let me get into that though too. DAZN just also confirmed though too that they're gonna sign Gennady Golovkin and try to pair up Canelo Alvarez for a third fight. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bruh, why are you doing this to yourself, man? Like, I mean, you want to talk about a guy that's been on the huge decline from a loss. I mean, Gennady Golovkin, man, sold his all, refused to fight against Sergey Derevyanchenko and was stripped of the IBF belt. And now it's like, bro, you're not even caring about legacy anymore. You told the fans before you wanted to unify all the belts, and that never happened. And your trainer, Fable Sanchez, I'm never going to use his real name because he does not deserve having my name. The fact of the matter is this. Your trainer and yourself said that we could fight anybody from 154 to 168. But what did you decide to do? You said, oh, we're going to fight a Pacific fighter like a Cesar Chavez Jr. and also a Carl Froch. Neglecting the fact that Andre Ward was also near Division 2, who was also off of a 2-year layoff due to the disputes from his previous promoter, Dan Goosen. And you didn't want no smoke. And you didn't want no smoke against James DeGale as well. So at the end of the day, though, man, it's getting ridiculous. I don't appreciate that kind of stance, though, bro. But yes, welterweight and also middleweight are the worst cases of ducking, though. But you could also say heavyweight is making a huge case right now because what Tyson Fury decided to do when he signed with ESPN, and then basically telling Deontay Wilder, "Oh, you need to improve your profile." First of all, Tyson, who are you to say to Deontay Wilder you need to improve your profile? The thing is this, though, man. Who made you relevant while you were on the 2-year layoff dealing with your weight issues and your drug issues? Deontay Wilder. Who was the guy that gave you an opportunity for a 50-50 split? Deontay Wilder. Who was the guy that made you relevant? Guess who? Wilder. So that makes absolutely zero sense whatsoever. You know what I mean? And also, what is the benefit having all these other benefit of being on ESPN and app there too? But yeah, those are the divisions I can think. But the two best fighters there fight each other down the line. But just like they said before, they got other people in that division that need to get out of the way to make that fight possible. That's how I kind of see it, though, man. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up right now, man. I spoke my piece about what I see, what I'm gonna look for in the Spence Garcia fight, about what the DAZN offer. McGrgeor being arrested again, and then also stay tuned in the next few weeks. I'm gonna try to drop in some content when the Final Four does show up to Minneapolis. Got the open practices on that Friday morning, though. I'm gonna get up extra early, get you guys some content there. And then on the Saturday there too, I'll try to get you guys some interviews and try to get you guys the exclusive access through the Minneapolis Convention Center and then show you around Minneapolis. So, man, it's gonna be a great time in 4 weeks. So y'all stay tuned, man. This is a MehariNation Radio Sports coming to you live and direct from all the members of the LDBC. Thank y'all for your support. Thank y'all for all you guys do. And let's keep it pushing and let's keep the movement going. Have a good night, guys. And make sure to smash the like button on the way out. Peace.